Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing my Sephora Spring Savings Event recommendations. I don't know about you, but I plan to shop mostly restocks this time around. Surprisingly, there are things that I need. I've been going through my collection and pulling out those products that I'm constantly needing to restock time and time again. So my haul will probably be pretty small but very thoughtful. I'm going to pop up all of the important dates and information you need to know on the screen. That way you can see what day you can start to shop depending on your tier. First access will be for Rouge members starting April 1st through April 11th, 20% off. And then VIB members can start shopping April 5th through the 11th. They get 15% off. And then Beauty Insiders can start shopping on April 7th through the 11th. You get 10% off using the code SAVESPRING if you're checking out online. And then everybody gets 30% off of Sephora collection. And there are some incredible Sephora collection products, so don't miss out on Sephora collection. A lot of people sleep on the SC products. I have everything organized by category. I have hair care, makeup, and then skincare / body care. And I'm going to hold off for fragrances. Instead, I'm going to post my list of recommendations on Friday, April 1st, the very first day Rouge members can shop. And my plan is to do a best new perfumes at Sephora / affordable spring fragrance list. There are still a couple fragrances that I've yet to try, and then a handful that I've tried once, but I really want to wear them on my skin before I make my final recommendation, so I'm going to hold off for now for fragrances. I have everything else here to talk about. I'm going to begin with hair care. I have 2 new products here to talk about, and then the rest are my tried and true must-have styling essentials, which you've heard me talk about in most of my Sephora Savings Event recommendations video. And that is true for a lot of the products that I'm going to mention today. But that's because I only want to recommend things that I believe in 100%. Most of these items I've purchased myself time and time again. These are the items, they're probably my most restocked at Sephora products. But this one is new. This is from Sol de Janeiro. It's their Brazilian Glossy Nourishing Hair Oil. It enhances shine, fights frizz, deeply moisturizes, and I believe this is also a heat protectant. I just pulled up more information on the Sephora app. This large bottle retails for $34 and it provides heat protection up to 450 degrees. So you can apply it before heat styling or after as a deep conditioner, and it's for all hair types. Now, the reason I love this hair oil so much is, for one thing, it's Sol de Janeiro, so it smells incredible. It instantly transports you to vacation, and the scent is really long-lasting in the hair. It is so nourishing. It is a thick hair oil, so you only need to use a teeny tiny bit. $34 might sound expensive, but this is going to last me probably 2 to 3 years. I mean, it is going to take me a really long time to go through this bottle. So you only need to pump out, I wouldn't even do a full pump, a teeny tiny bit. And then you can work this in your hair depending on how you're styling your hair. If you wanted to let it air dry, I think this would be really nice. And it smells like the Boom Boom cream. Oh, it is really delicious. But what I like to do is wait until my hair is dry and then I'll just work it through the ends. Just a little bit, because my ends do sometimes get a little bit dry and crispy. So if you kind of work this through, and then you don't have to worry if you do end up going back later and maybe retouching with the iron or the curling iron, you don't have to worry that you have oil in your hair and it's going to create heat damage, because it does actually protect your hair from heat. Just to give it a little extra shine, if I have a ton of flyaways up here, I'll just kind of use what's left on my hand to smooth them down. I would not pump that oil directly in your hand and then go on top, because you'll end up with a helmet head. It's just very thick and oily, but in the best possible way. So I'm incredibly impressed with this hair oil. I love a hair oil, so I knew I would like it. I also tend to really love the Sol de Janeiro products, but this blew me away. Definitely recommend. And the second new product is this K18 Biomimetic Hair Science Leave-In Molecular Repair Hair Mask. This is a little sample. I do have a full-size bottle, but it's really good. So this is supposed to be kind of similar to an Olaplex result. So if you love Olaplex, I would highly recommend checking this out. Maybe switch it up, do something a little bit different for your hair. You might prefer it. This is going to be best suited for anybody who has incredibly damaged hair, whether it's heat damage from too much styling, too many tools, or maybe color-treated hair if you're a color-treated blonde. If you just dye your hair constantly and it's looking a bit rough, it's kind of a leave-in conditioner hair mask in one. So when you're in the shower, you have to use a sulfate-free shampoo, really cleanse the hair. I typically do a double cleanse anyway with shampoo, and then don't condition. No conditioner, no mask in the shower, nothing. It's a bit funny the first time you use it, getting out of the shower without conditioner. Your hair doesn't feel quite as silky as it usually does, but as long as you apply enough product and let it sit at least the full 4 minutes, I think you'll really be happy with the result. I've noticed that my hair just feels really manageable. I can brush through it a lot easier. It feels kind of weightless as well and just very silky smooth. So I'm a huge fan of this. I'm not sure I like it more than Olaplex, but I certainly like it just as much, and it helps to cut down your shower time as well. So I think that's really nice in itself. Speaking of Olaplex, I had to throw it in the mix because this is one of my most restocked products from Sephora, so I'm constantly taking advantage of this spring savings event, the holiday savings event, to make sure I am stocked up and good to go on my Olaplex number 3 treatment. This is one of the hair care products I cannot go without. I like to use an Olaplex treatment every other wash. I find that on the days I don't use the Olaplex, my hair just doesn't look as nice, it doesn't feel as nice, and I always have to balance it out with hydration as well. So this is going to be a bond builder. It's not a conditioner. You still have to go in with something that's deeply hydrating and nourishing. So that's why it's always good to make sure you're stocked up on those intense hydrating masks as well. But I absolutely love my number 3 treatment. These are some of my favorite styling products that I cannot go without. The dry shampoo I love the most is this Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Joia dry shampoo. It smells incredible. It does a great job controlling oil as well, but I just love the smell, and it lasts for such a long time. So if you tend to go a couple days between washes, which I usually do, it's nice to make sure that your hair still smells really fresh and incredible. This is the IGK Good Behavior 4-in-1 Prep Spray. It's a detangler, 24-hour frizz control, 450 heat protection, and shine. Usually I towel dry my hair and then I'll spritz this in. And this is kind of that first styling product. And then I might go in with a hair cream. I really like that Moroccan oil hair cream, is amazing. There's also a balm from IGK, which is really good, the keratin balm. You have to use a teeny tiny bit. So I'll kind of rotate between different hair creams. I will link all of my favorites down below. And then blow dry my hair. When I'm done blow drying, then I use this before I use my hot tool. This is the Good Behavior Spirulina Protein Smoothing Spray. Again, it's like a keratin treatment, 24-hour frizz control, 450 heat protection. So I'm kind of layering all of these heat protectant products, which I think helps. Keep a couple inches away, light spritz before I go in with the hot tool. And then as a finishing spray, instead of using hairspray, which is kind of drying and makes my hair feel really crunchy and crispy, I'll use the IGK Antisocial Overnight Bond Building Dry Hair Mask. It smells incredible. And this is supposed to be a bond building complex and vegan silk extract treatment. So I feel much better using this on my hair versus a texture spray. Occasionally I'll go in with maybe an Oribe texture spray. For the most part, this is what I use to finish my hair. I have so many products here to talk about. I didn't want to mention them all, but I will list all of my hair care favorites down below. But that IGK Good Behavior lineup has been kind of my core group of products for a long time, over a year easily. Moving on now to makeup, I limited myself to 1 product per category. That way this list wouldn't become too overwhelming, too confusing. So as my SPF/primer step, I recommend the Supergoop Glow Screen. And I know I've talked about this quite a bit. It's not a new product. Maybe it's a boring choice, but I just think it's really tough to beat. It's incredible. It gives you SPF 40. It gives you glow. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're doing some sort of construction project outside, so you'll have to excuse the noise. But I love the glow screen. Oh my gosh. Sounds like they're coming through the window. It has a little tint to it so it doesn't leave a white cast on the skin. It's incredibly hydrating and nice and light. Doesn't irritate my eyes, doesn't irritate my face whatsoever, and it pairs beautifully underneath foundation. And I also think this looks really beautiful on the body as well. I also really like the glow screen for the body. This is another product here that I was going to mention. I might as well talk about it now. So this has SPF 40, and this does leave, well, it doesn't leave a white cast, but it doesn't have a little tint like this. So this comes out white. Once you massage it into the skin, it's pretty clear. But if you don't want this giant tube, maybe you want something that's a little bit more portable, you can use this all over the body and it looks really gorgeous. If you know you're going to be outside and you're wearing a tank top, you can apply this to your shoulders, to your arms. That way you have the SPF protection, but also it leaves a nice little sheen on the skin. So highly recommend. I think I've gone through at least one bottle of this. I always like to have a backup and I use it on a very regular basis. If you have oily skin or you just don't like the idea of the sheen, you don't want anything that's going to make you look dewy, then I would try this brand new sunscreen from Supergoop. This launched, I think, at the beginning of the month. It's the new Every Single Face Watery Lotion with SPF 50. It's very thin and it's very sheer, so every skin tone can wear this. It's not going to leave a white cast. It's for all skin types as well. This is kind of the perfect everyday SPF. And also looks really great underneath foundation as well. Does not give you the sheen that the glow screen has. For foundation, I wanted to choose something new, and I really like the new NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I think it evens out the skin beautifully. I love the way it lasts throughout the day, and it's not overly light reflecting. That made me nervous when I first heard about this foundation. I wasn't initially interested to even try it because I thought it was going to make me too dewy. Anything that's too hydrating, too luminous, and the Miami humidity can sometimes leave me looking like a greasy mess, even though I have pretty normal skin. Normal to combination, I still will get a little oily in the T-zone throughout the day. But this has more of a natural finish. It didn't look dry, but it also didn't look too dewy. And I think that also helped to make it look better longer. It didn't break down throughout the day, which I really like. And then for concealer, I went with the new LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I don't know why I had low expectations. I guess because I've never really tried a lot of products from the brand. It's new. Concealer is such an iffy product that I think I always have low expectations for any new concealer. This blew me away. Instantly went to the top drawer. I love it. I would say it has more of a medium coverage, not necessarily full, but it's the finish on the skin. It gives the most natural, smooth looking under eye. It looks beautiful to prime the eyelids. Usually when I go in with even some of my favorite concealers, like the Pat McGrath, the Chanel corrector on the lid, just to prime, it sometimes looks a little bit dry, or I can see texture on my eyelids. This looks so smooth on the eyelids. It's a really great base as well for eyeshadow. I would restock this concealer. Absolutely. My favorite setting powder from Sephora at the moment is this NARS pressed powder. This is the translucent crystal light reflecting setting powder pressed version. I love this so much. Similar to the foundation, it says crystal light reflecting, and you might think that this is going to leave your skin looking like you applied highlighter, and that is not the case. It is an incredible translucent setting powder. And even though it looks stark white, it really is translucent. I apply this all over my face, doesn't leave a white cast, it's not too brightening, but I think this combined with that LYS concealer is kind of perfect. I have no doubt in my mind I will finish this before the end of the year, and I know it's pretty hard to get a hold of. Hopefully they've maybe fixed their inventory issues. So it has a cult following. You might have to fight some people to get your hands on it, but it is well worth it. It's a great powder. My everyday bronzer that I highly recommend is from Nude Sticks. This is the Terracotta Tan Nudies Matte All Over Face Bronze color. I've noticed that Terracotta Tan has been sold out for a really long time. It's worth setting the notification, but Bondi Bay is still available, and I think that would be a really beautiful shade as well. I don't have much left. I think I'll probably finish this before the end of the month, which is fine by me because one of my makeup goals for the year is to go through most of my cream products so that they don't just spoil in the drawer. But I've been using this every day for a couple months. It's lasted a really long time. It's so quick and easy. It does have the little brush on the other side. I don't really use this. I would use it in a pinch. But if you're applying your makeup at home and you have your brushes on hand, I don't think it's essential. They could probably get rid of the brush and just add more product. But I really like this. It's creamy, dreamy. It's pigmented enough, but it doesn't look like you're applying paint to the face. You don't have to worry about it drying down and then being difficult to blend. It's just kind of foolproof, which is why I use it every day. My blush choice is an oldie goldie, but it's a new discovery for me. It's from Pat McGrath Labs. When she launched her blush line, I purchased 3 shades, and then this was sent to me complimentary for a campaign that I'm doing with Pat McGrath Labs. This is the shade Desert Orchid. And oh my goodness, I am so glad, so thankful that they sent this over and I used this for the campaign because it is so pretty. And I would have skipped it. I would have missed this blush. It is the perfect bronze blush. I would say this is comparable to Jersey, Rose Bronze, Ombre, some of those really beautiful neutral blushes that I'm constantly raving about from Chanel if you don't want to pay the Chanel price. Although I think this is $38. It's not much savings, but it would be even more savings during the Sephora Spring Savings event. This is the shade right here. Gorgeous. Beautiful for bronze goddess makeup, beachy makeup. This looks really pretty dusted over kind of the bridge of the nose to give that naturally suntanned glow. And it has a very slight sheen to it, but it's beautiful on the skin. And I love her packaging and I love the pans. This is a lot of product in this blush. 9.7 grams of product, so you are definitely getting your money's worth. My choice of highlighter is probably the most predictable. It's the Westman Atelier. This is the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight. In the shade Peau de Rosé, I also have the Peau de Pêche. I believe I purchased both during Sephora savings events because it's pretty pricey. I believe they're $70, maybe $75. So if you can get a discount, it is well worth it. But it is just the most beautiful product. It's creamy, dreamy. I think it looks so gorgeous on the skin. Kind of looks like your skin is just naturally glowing. And this is kind of that perfect, slightly iridescent pink. I'm just going to tap on a little bit more. And it just beams off the cheek. It's beautiful. I wanted to hate it. And instead I ended up purchasing an additional shade. For eyebrows, these are my staple products. I have the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. This is the best clear brow gel. My Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wax, or the Brow Freeze. This is a new one because I've packed the one that I've almost used up. And I probably have a week or two of my original, and then I'll need to go into this new one, which I picked this up, I believe, during the holiday savings event from Sephora. I thought I was going to need it a lot faster. This lasts a full year, easily. I think a little over a year. So I'm incredibly impressed. You just don't really need much product. Even if you use it every single day, it will take you over a year to use it up. And then the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit. This is what I use. I use shade 4. I've also used 3.5. Both of them work. This one is missing the spoolie. I got this during the little holiday set because I have packed my current brow pencil. But I go through these pretty regularly. I always make sure I have a couple on hand. I picked up the set during the holidays, so I don't think I'm going to need to restock this time around. But it's nice to know how many brow pencils you use in a year and then make sure that you get your savings on all of the brow pencils you're going to need. My Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen is packed. I would highly recommend that. But if you don't like the Tom Ford, I would recommend this NARS Climax Liquid Eyeliner in Explicit Black. I've been using this and it's amazing. It's very thin. What I like about it, what I think makes this different from any other pen, is that it's kind of flattened. So it allows you to get a really precise wing. You can make it very thick or you can make it very thin. For eyeshadow, I pulled out one small palette and then one larger palette. My small palette recommendation would be Dior. This is Nude Dress and it's so pretty. It's kind of the perfect neutral everyday palette. I'm so happy I picked this up. I love the formula. This is one of their new formulas. It's no longer new. It's probably been a few years, but they're not dusty. They're not powdery. It's not a baked formula. I think this must be like a smooth jet milled formula. It's a lot creamier to the touch. Just gorgeous. I'm sure you have similar colors, but if you are in the market for kind of that perfect everyday neutral palette, I would recommend Nude Dress from Dior. Eyeshadow is kind of funny because we don't realize that the expiration date on eyeshadow palettes, I think, is maybe 2 years. And how many palettes are you really using up within 2 years? Not many, I'm sure. So just be careful when it comes to eyeshadow. I know I have scaled back a lot how many I'm purchasing because you just don't get that satisfaction of using up an entire palette. What ends up happening is that it will sit in your drawer, sit on a shelf. You'll just keep purchasing more palettes without using up the old ones. And then at some point, maybe years down the road, you're going to realize what you've done and you will simply just throw it away. I think that's pretty wasteful. I'm personally trying to get away from that. I wouldn't recommend stocking up on eyeshadow palettes if you already have too many. If there's something that really speaks to you and catches your eye, that serves a purpose, it adds value to your collection, it doesn't look like 10 other palettes currently in the drawer, then I think that's fine. But if you're purchasing just to purchase, just because it's new, just because you like the brand, stop yourself. Ask yourself, what are the colors that you actually use? What do you actually wear? Special palettes like this are nice to have on hand. This is an evening, date night, special occasion palette, and there are just only so many occasions in the year that I'm going to pull this out. But if you are in the market for something special, the Utopian Dream palette from Pat McGrath Labs is really beautiful. When I'm sitting down, taking the time to do something sparkly and special with my makeup, I love playing around with this. And it has become my favorite palette from Pat McGrath Labs. I think Pat McGrath is the brand to go to if you are in the market for a special, fun, exciting girls' night out party palette. I would say Pat McGrath is your brand. And then the last category I have here to talk about is skincare / body care. And I do have just a couple items because I think skincare is so personal. You know your skin, what works for you, what you like to use, the products that you're constantly restocking. Think about your cleansers, your toners, your eye creams, all of that, scrubs, and make a list if there's anything that you need. If you're looking for recommendations, I will list some of my personal favorite products down below, but that's just what works for me. But I have been using a lot of Obagi and Chanel skincare. But these are products that are available at Sephora. This is the Pharmacy Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. It wouldn't be a Sephora Savings recommendations video if I didn't talk about this product. Just the best makeup remover out there. I've tried so many cleansing balms. This is the best. It dissolves everything, including stubborn eye makeup, and it rinses right off. That is why I like this so much. Some of the others I've used, they don't even really do a great job removing the makeup. If you're sensitive to fragrance, I would go with the fragrance-free version. I will also list that down below. I make sure I'm stocked up on this. I already am. I picked up a little trio set during the holiday savings event. This is the only makeup remover I like to use every day. One of my favorite serums to use during the evenings is this Biossance Squalene and Lactic Acid Resurfacing Night Serum. I've restocked this 3 times now. It is really good. One of the few products that I have tried that I can feel it working, I can see it working, and after just one use, I noticed a huge difference with my skin. With continued use, the results are even better. This is the 3rd bottle I've gone through. It doesn't last an incredibly long time. I mean, you can tell. It's pretty small, but I would say 2 to 3 months you'll get out of this little bottle, and it's well worth it. If you have fine lines, hyperpigmentation, sun damage, this is the type of serum that you should be using. The lactic acid is incredible. You can feel it working. It doesn't burn, but it just has a very light tingle so that it lets you know that it's there, it's doing what it's supposed to, and then in the morning, wow, I feel like my face is poreless. My Dr. Dennis Gross Extra Strength Daily Peels, I talk about them constantly, and I always make sure I have these on hand. They're amazing. This is just a legendary product. Everybody knows about these peels, and I don't think there's anything that's come out that's better than them. This is just kind of the go-to standard. These are also great if you have fine lines, wrinkles, signs of aging, texture on the skin, blemishes, if you're breakout prone, sun damaged from years of laying out in Florida. This will be your best friend. And they also have the body version, but I swear by them. I've been using them for the longest time. It's one of those skincare products that I just always have in the bathroom. My number 1 body care product, if you are only going to purchase one body care item from the savings event, it has to be the First Aid Beauty KP Bump Eraser. This is the best body scrub ever. And I think for the price, for the amount you get, You just cannot beat this product. It's insane. It leaves your skin feeling so soft because the grit, the little pumice crystals, they're pretty harsh, but this has a physical exfoliator as well as chemical exfoliator. That's why I love it so much. So it has 10% AHA, but it also contains aloe. So it's safe for sensitive skin. Most all of the First Aid Beauty products are, but it's going to do its job. I mean, this is really going to exfoliate everything. So can't use it on the face. It's a little bit too harsh, but from the neck down, you can use this scrub anywhere. I do my arms, I do my legs, my feet, my back, anywhere I can reach, I like to use this exfoliator. And I also like that it's in a tube. This is so much easier than the jar. A lot of brands will put their scrub in a jar and it looks very luxurious, and I guess it's nice for maybe sitting by a bathtub. But if you're in the shower getting ready for the day and you're looking for something that's very functional and practical, this is the best body scrub. Doesn't have a good smell. Smells pretty bad actually. But I don't care. I've gone through several bottles of this and I will always make sure I have this in the bathroom. This is also great for hyperpigmentation, for sun damage, for fine lines. It gets rid of all of that top layer of dead skin, so anything you put on top is going to be able to penetrate. So this is a must-have product. And then I like to follow that up with my Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Cream. This is the best moisturizer. The scent lasts forever. You could use this as your fragrance of the day. It is so strong, and I love the way it feels. So I also really like the Bom Dia cream. My favorite is still the Boom Boom cream, and they have a new flavor. There's a new light pink cream. I'm going to purchase that during the savings event. I wanted to wait so that I could get my discount, but I always have plenty of those. And then for sunless tanner, that's another reason I like to use that scrub if I'm in between tans. It helps to get rid of the last little remnants. But this Isle of Paradise self-tanning butter, I've gone through 2 of these now, and I'll probably need to restock this during the savings event. I believe I purchased this during the holiday savings event. This is great in between tans. Once you've done your sunless tan and you're looking to extend the life of your tan, this body butter has a very slight, very slight gold sheen to it. So it leaves your skin looking kind of flawless and perfected, but it also helps build a little color gradually. So you want to make sure if you're going to apply this, you wash your hands afterwards. It doesn't give you a ton of color. This isn't going to replace your sunless tanner, but it's really nice as like a daily moisturizer when you're tanning. This is great in the evenings. Actually, you could do this day or evening, but this you can use during the day as well. If you want maybe a little extra color by the evening and you didn't have time to tan overnight, I would use this in the morning. And that completes my list of recommendations for the Sephora Spring Savings event this year. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. I am curious, what is your strategy going into the sale this year? Do you have a lot of items that you have your eye on? Are you kind of done with shopping for a while, picking up a few things? Let me know how you're going to be shopping down below in the comments section. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.